what I'm doing today, well, what I'm starting today, is painting my camper. And I really don't want to spend a lot of money on it because hopefully we're not going to have it too much longer. But I really want to dress it up a little bit, so I'm going to roll it. We'll see how that works. Other people have done it. They said it looks great and stuff, so we'll see. I'm going to do two colors, black and then a wide gray stripe down the middle, well, down the side, the middle. So I got this stuff. So I'm going to try it out. I'm going to see if, hopefully I don't need primer because this has primer in it. They said I might need primer, might not. So we'll give it a shot. But first thing I'm doing is I'm going to go all around and scrape the old decals off and get some of this old caulk out. I already got some of this stuff out of the corners just to kind of neaten it up a little bit, because you see, so I did this side of the window but I didn't do this side yet, so you see how it's, you know, oozing out of there and stuff on the bottom. So I'm going to clean all that up and like I said, scrape the decals off. Some of the stuff I'm going to keep, like this Heritage RV, because it's from Bluesburg, PA. Now that's not where I bought it, but we're originally from PA and we're living in Florida now, so. But I'm gonna try and preserve some of this stuff, like some of these stickers, and you can't really see the tag anymore, but I'm still gonna tape over that and pull these off. I think I'm gonna take this off so I can paint it while it's off. And I'm also going to put some decals on there to match our vehicle. We have a black vehicle and we have hibiscus flower decals on it. So I'm gonna kind of match the camper up a little bit to it. So, well, this is the beginning. So I got the first sticker off. What a pain. So I used the razor blade to scrape off the decal itself, and I used this stuff to get the sticky crap off. And just be warned, it does a really good job at removing paint also. But so you're gonna have to do some light sanding too. I don't have the proper paper, so I'm gonna have to run out and get some better sanding paper. The stuff I had was like too fine, and then the other stuff I had was too coarse, so there was no happy medium. So the fine stuff would be good for finishing, but I need to get something that takes some of this off, because you can still feel it a little bit. I don't know if it would show through the paint or not, but I'm not taking a chance. Not for something so simple as, you know, getting the right paper. I did do a test spot. I'm just going to let it dry thoroughly and then maybe put another coat on. I did it with a brush because I didn't feel like getting a paint roller all dirty. So I used a brush. I just want to test it out and see how durable it seems. But I'm going to continue with the stickers and the caulk and this putty stuff that they use when they first assemble them, you know. Clean all that up and I will get back to you. The paint I'm using is Behr, Home Depot, Ultra Stain Blocking Paint Primer in one, and it seems to be working well. So to prep it, I don't know if this is the right way to do it or not, but so I originally was taking off the decals and stuff with Goof Off that you like pour out of the bottle. I ended up getting the spray and using a Scotch-Brite pad, and that worked really well. And then what I did was I went over the whole thing with the Scotch-Brite pad and Dawn dish liquid, in a bucket, and, mixed with water, obviously. And that seemed to work really well. It's scuffed up the surface a little bit. It got some of the imperfections off. And this morning I started masking for the stripe. I didn't bother doing up masking right here because I'm going to go up to here with the roller anyway. So I just felt like I didn't really need to do that. I'm only going to do one side per day because, I am more or less doing it myself, so I don't want to try and push it. Supposedly they want nice weather all week, so that should work out. I went around with this caulking tool, and I got some of the caulk out of the corners and some of the excess of that putty that they use to seal stuff up. And then when I'm done painting, I'm gonna caulk around all the windows and stuff when I'm done. Hasn't leaked yet, and I don't want it to. So I'm ready to start putting some paint on, and I'll let you know how it goes. So that's all I did so far. Just, do the trimming stuff first, and then I'll use the roller. But being a paint with primer already in it, it does dry really fast, and it's really hard to totally get the brush clean. So it's just one thing to keep in mind. And I also recommend getting one of these spouts. It's only like $3. It fits on there really good, and it'll keep your the rim of the can clean. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of fussy about that. I hate when dried paint gets on there and falls into the can, and then you get goopy pieces on your paint job. And so anyway, one of my recommendations. So I'm going to start rolling it now, and I'm sure that'll be fun. To show you, I did this part yesterday, so this is what I did. So I don't know if you can see this, slightly textured, but it's a satin paint, and I think it came out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, it was fairly easy. So my plan is to do black, gray, black. So that's my plan. Okay, I tried to do a time lapse to show you the technique I was using for painting and stuff, but I couldn't figure out how to get that to work. So I'll just do a little bit like this and show you. So I chose a 4-inch roller because the way the metal is corrugated. So I'm going like this. I found that works better for me. Get the paint in there. So yeah, a 9-inch roller probably would have been kind of hard to maneuver and get in some of these little tight spaces. And then I go over it, at least the raised parts, I go over it like this. I don't know if you can even see this because the sun is blinding me. And then start all over again. So I did some of the trimming first with a brush. Kind of like, this stuff around here. And plus, these crevices and stuff are hard to get in with the roller. So I did that first with the brush. So at first I just, try and get all the surfaces with paint in them. And then I go over it just to kind of smooth it out, make sure there's no roller lines. And I go across it, the raised parts, like that. And like I said, that's been working for me. I don't know if that's the exact way to do it, but that's been working for me. Alrighty. So I'm at a point now, I got most of the camper done. I still need to paint the other half of that door, but something curious happened. So I did the top half of this side yesterday, but look what happened. It was fine last night, but something with the condensation or something, I don't know. And look what it did to the ground. It just like dripped off. But it was fine before nightfall last night. So I don't know if it was condensation and the paint wasn't cured or dried or whatever, but so I don't know. I'm gonna hose it, wash it with some soap and see if it washes off. If not, I'll have to repaint some of that. But all I had to do was the bottom half and I would have been done with that. So after the painting's done with the roller, I want to spray the window frames. And I did paint the box also. And I did roll the rock guard. So it did have decals on it. You can see them. But I'm going to put stickers on here, decals. So I think that's going to detract enough that you're not going to really notice. And I really didn't want to sand this because this just would have made a mess. So there you have it. Before I repaint the areas that got messed up, I'm going to try Bondoing some of these holes. I've never used Bondo before, so those are the holes from the awning, and I'm not planning on putting an awning on this. And I want to try and fill that dent in those holes. And like I said, I've never used Bondo before, so we'll see how that goes. The majority of the rolling done, but I figured I want to mask the black. I'll be masking on the black to fix this gray. So I figured I'd let that paint dry good. But I figured now is a good time to repack my bearings. And also I sprayed the brake drums because they were rusty and there was some white paint behind them. But overall, it's getting there. I put the Brock guard on. It's not permanent, but number one, I just wanted to get it out of the way. Number two, just wanted to see what it looked like. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to put some decals on there to match our truck. So it's going to look very cool, in my opinion. But I still got some work to do. Okay, so I finished the rolling. I'm just letting that dry before I take the tape off. I got the bearings packed, everything back together. I fixed this gray, so that came out good. I'm guessing what happened was it was kind of cool when I did the first part, or the first half, whatever you want to call it. So the temperature was probably in the 60s, but then at night it probably dropped down in the low 50s, and I don't think the paint just didn't have enough time to dry properly, I guess. So that's why it ran, because when I did that part and when I redid some of the top, it was fine because it was warmer that night. So what I'm gonna do is, it's November, so I'm gonna take a break for the holidays. But next year, early in the year, since it is Florida and it's pretty nice during the day, I'm gonna mask off the windows, and I'm gonna spray paint those because I'm not really good at cutting in, so I would have to mask it anyway, and spray paint is just gonna be better. I mean, this stuff really seems to be adhering really good, although the plastic fenders, this paint is not sticking well to that. It's sticking good to this. I don't know if this is fiberglass or what kind of plastic this is. It sticks fine to that, not to that. And I tried a little spot on the box and it wasn't sticking to that either, but it's sticking really good to this. So overall, I'm very happy with how it's turned out. Okay, I got the rolling done yesterday, so I'm at a point, I'm going to stop now, because actually today's Thanksgiving, so I'm going to take a break until the end of the holidays. After the holidays, I'm going to spray paint the window frames, and I might do some stuff on the interior too, redo the shades, because right now they're kind of white and they really stick out and don't look good. So I'm going to redo that, maybe redo curtains, but I'm definitely going to do floor also. So overall, I just want to say, when I first started thinking about doing this, I was watching a bunch of videos on YouTube, you know, well, when I say a bunch, like 3 or 4, but they were, you know, saying that you can paint your camper for $100. Well, my camper's 15 foot. Now granted, I did 2 different colors. I masked stuff off, and you know, between that and the stuff that I bought to prep it, you know, the Scotch-Brite pads, the goof off, you know, I got some of these other accessories for, you know, painting the little cup for the trim work and little spouts and stuff like that. I didn't buy the spray paint yet for the window frames, but I mean, until all said and done, it's going to be like $250 to $300. I used 1.5 gallons of paint, so it was only half a gallon of the gray and a full gallon of the black. Now I bought a 1/3 gallon thinking I might run out of the black, but I didn't. But now I have it for touch-ups and stuff, you know, whatever. It seemed to work really well. So I did this spot here. I mean, it's not a professional job, but it looks better now than it did with the holes and stuff in it. You can kind of see the dent a little bit, but it's a lot better than it was. And you can't even really make out where the holes were for the awning down there. So honestly, I think the Bondo was $8. I mean, it was well worth it. You just have to do a little prep, you know, take any paint off so it'll adhere to the surface properly. And honestly, I could have probably have done that dent a little better, because it said 2 or 3 coats. I only did 2, so, but like I said, it looks better than it did, so I'm happy with it. So as far as cost, it's a 15-foot camper, so I went through 2 gallons of paint. You can get by with 2 gallons, gallon and a half, but the paint costs about $45 a gallon, and it depends on what you do with. So like I said, I'm going to spray paint the window frame, so I'll probably use another $20 worth of spray paint, maybe less, I don't know. I bought a can of spray paint to do the brake drums because they were, like I said, you can see they were somewhat white from behind the wheels. You could see the white and stuff. So since I was packing the bearings anyway, I figured I'd spray those. The masking tape was like $5 a roll, $5 to $6 a roll. I did end up buying a couple paintbrushes. I bought a couple of these paint trays. They're like $3 a piece. I'm trying to think about what other costs were involved. And the Scotch-Brite pads were like, I think it was like $3 for 2 of them, something like that, $4. The caulking tool I already had, and a couple of the paintbrushes I had, but I did buy one paintbrush. I like these angular ones. I think it was like $6. But that about covers it. So hopefully, because when I watched the videos, there were a lot of points where I don't think they covered some of the info I was looking for, like what sort of paint they used, how it adhered, how they prepped it, what they used to prep it, techniques, and what paint roller they used, whatever. So hopefully I covered a lot of that stuff. I mean, if there's something else you want to ask, just comment. Or if there's something I did wrong, just comment. But other than that, it's all done.